What were some of the details that emerged in terms of what we know, how the top management personnel, what were they were doing, their decision-making leading into those last weeks and days?
Yeah, Heidi, this is something that's kind of hung over Credit Suisse, not just in the most recent period of turmoil of the past 2 weeks, but of course the last 2 years, how people have evaluated how they were going to kind of redo the strategy at the bank, how they were going to kind of bring back franchises that had really lost their competitive edge. And what's being mooted in this local report coming out over the weekend is essentially that there were some kind of fairly systemic failures by some of the top managers at Credit Suisse in various areas. And just to run you one quote from the FINRA president, which I think is quite telling of the extent of what they're thinking right now, is that, quote, often it was not clear who was responsible for what. And of course, that speaks to division heads and people running large areas of the business responsible for hundreds of $millions in revenue. And if that, of course, was the case, that they weren't, they didn't know what they were doing, they didn't know who was in the driving seat, and indeed, there was a lack of taking responsibility within various business divisions. And of course, that's quite telling as to how we got into the position that we're into today, where essentially you had to get a Swiss government-led bailout and a tie-up with UBS. Now, how investors kind of come off the back of this, I mean, really, for investors, this is a little bit too late. But of course, everyone wants to know what happened, and everyone wants to know more details about specifically what went wrong at Credit Suisse.